Yo, what's up, guys? How's everyone doing, man? Today, we're going to be talking about the one and only Fallout 76 and why this game was a bust and didn't live up to expectations. So, as you know, Fallout 76 came out a while ago and it had massive expectations after, in my opinion, the best game I've ever played came out in Fallout 4. Fallout 4 was a very in-depth game with in-depth characters and a great storyline behind it. And you could talk to NPCs, which are basically CPU players in the game, and they could help you progress through the story, or you could trade with them. And I'm pretty sure there was even an option just to chat with them. And you could have charisma to help you get further in the story, become better friends with them, or trade with them for better prices. But the way I'm going to explain that Fallout 76 was a bust is because this is the biggest reason, in my opinion. There's no NPCs in Fallout 76. If you haven't realized, the only communication you have with any other player other than an actual real life player in this game is robots. Rose, I think her name is, at the top of the world, has been the only person as of the time of this recording that I've actually communicated with that isn't an actual player. And I think that ruined this game at a huge level. I think the reason Fallout 4 was so successful was because of how good it was single player, and because you could still find so much entertainment in it, even if you weren't able to play with friends, which you weren't. But you were able to communicate with others around you and progress based off of their communication with you. But in this game, you're relying completely on just on just yourself. You can't trade with actual people anymore. To trade, you have to go to either actual players who might not even have what you want, or are going to overprice it, or you're going to have to go to machines to buy your ammo and stuff like that. And let me tell you, trading in this game is incredibly overpriced. Like insanely overpriced, to the point where if I trade something or if I buy something from a machine, I'm not even getting the return that I spent on it back, because of that's how much I spent on it. It's a huge ripoff, and it makes the game not even fun to play, in my opinion, because of its lack of resources and stuff to do. And another huge part, this part is very close to the NPCs, the lack of NPCs, of why this game isn't as successful as 4, is because you're in the storyline, you're being led to absolutely nothing. If you haven't realized, in Fallout 4, if you're trying to complete a part of the story, at the end of it, you're normally led to a human that that is going to explain their side of the story, or something of that variation. But in this game, all you're led to is a note, a robot, another trail that is going to lead you to a completely different story. For example, you haven't. There's no point of completing missions in this game because you already know what's coming next. You you have no communication with others, which makes the game bland, and you have no way of having fun progressing through the game because you can't communicate with anyone because you already know what's coming. You're gonna be led to a note. You're gonna be led to a dead body. You're gonna be led to a robot, a terminal, probably a terminal because that's all these stories have led me to. I've completed a good amount of the story, and I've just been led to terminals most of the time. And then after I'm led to that terminal, it just leads me to a completely other terminal on a completely other side of the map. Another thing, why do why do guns have durability? I It's realistic. I get it. Guns do deteriorate over time, but why would they add it to a Fallout game? I've been in a fight with how, what are they called, the mole rat guys, the cave mole rat things. My gun has died in the middle of a fight multiple times, and it ruined the mood. Like I shouldn't have to spend all these materials that I worked hard on getting to repair this gun that's gonna die within the next hour of using it. It's the same with melee weapons as well. It makes it makes this game so annoying to play because you know what's expected, you know what's gonna come, and it like Fallout 4 had such high expectations. Honestly, I don't think this game would have been nearly as bad as it is if the expectations leading up to it weren't as high. But everyone knows that the expectations on this game were massive because Fallout 4 was an incredible game. Probably one of the best games that's come out within the past few years. Like, people genuinely loved that game. They loved People loved when they added mods because it added another dimension to the game. But this game is just continuing on the same boring path. If you haven't noticed, I can't communicate with people, and if I am communicating with people, it's mostly toxic people in the community that constantly just want to kill you and start a war with you, and it's annoying. I would have much rather preferred Fallout 76 being completely single player and them actually working on making a game even on the same level as Fallout 4, if not better. But instead, I think multiplayer kind of ruined this because with the addition that you can be in a world with a ton of different real life players, you it the adding NPCs is almost impossible, which I understand, but it was a wrong move by Bethesda. Another reason, I've heard that Fallout and Bethesda has made sales of bags and merchandise, and they've completely ripped people off on it. I was told that Bethesda was selling bags, like the drawstring bags, and it was made out of a completely different material of what they guaranteed, and it was a terrible quality. So, so at that point, they're losing trust from their fans that have been playing their game for years. I've been playing Fallout since New Vegas. I played New Vegas, I played 4, and now I'm on 76. Unfortunately, I shouldn't have bought this game. I pre-ordered this game because of how hyped up I was for it. Me and my friend got on the day it came out. Like, the day the game was officially out and ready to play, we got on it and we tried to progress. And it was fun at first for me, but I realized as you progress in the game, it's awful. I I get on this game, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'll have some fun, maybe I'll figure out something to do. But then I realize that this is the same exact thing over and over. There's no there's no diversity. There's nothing different as you go on and progress in this game. It's boring. You go across the map. You do a mission for a measly amount of caps and stim packs, and and there you go. That's all you're being led to. You can't. It's harder to get your weapons upgraded and buy ammo for your weapons when machine vending prices are literally terrible. Like, machines are such rip-offs, and it, the community is, for the most part, is terrible. There's a lot of nice people. I ran into someone when I first started playing who was a level ahead of me. Well, he was level like 50 and I was like a level 20, and he literally just gave me a grenade launcher. He was a nice dude. I talked to him. I actually added him as a friend. But I've been I've been attacked by players multiple times, even though I was a lower level than them, and it's genuinely annoying. I don't know if and when Fallout 5, if if that is gonna be a thing, if that game's even confirmed that it's ever gonna come out. But I'm hoping that 76 was just like a little add-on game. Like, I hope they put all their effort into 5, because like I genuinely like Fallout and I want to enjoy this game. But with the way that they took Fallout 76, it's so hard to enjoy it, and it's so hard to still trust the company after making a game like this. It's so bland, bro. Like, I can't explain how boring it is to try to just progress through these missions. Like, maybe if you're doing it with a friend early game, this is fun. Like, I played a few missions with a friend extremely early when we were like level 5s and 10s and 15s, and we didn't have anything, and we would go up into the more radiated part of the map, like up. We would go up here, and we would go down here into like the lower northeast part of the map, where it's heavily radiated and has a lot harder enemies and stuff. And we would run into Scorch Beast, and it was fun at that point. But then you realize, as you genuinely start trying to progress through the game and try to actually beat the game, how annoying and just repetitive and boring it is. And and that it it's mostly because of the lack of NPCs. I honestly don't think this game would be terrible if you had some sort of progression towards meeting up with someone or talking to someone. But instead, you're constantly just led to the same exact thing that gets you nowhere, nowhere at all. But instead of it's annoying. Instead of adding NPCs, which made Fallout 4 an incredible game for me. Fallout 4 is my favorite game I've ever played, and I still like the Fallout series, but I I've never seen a gaming company take this big of a decline from Fallout 4 to 76 in how good the game was. It's insane how much further ahead Fallout 4 is from 76. Like, I uninstalled 4 once 76 came out because I didn't have much space on my console left, and I assumed, oh, I was never going to touch Fallout 4 again. But honestly, I can say I regret spending money on this game. I regret I regret pre-ordering this game in the first place. Like, I would have honestly just stuck with Fallout 4 for a couple more years until Fallout 5 came out if I knew 76 was going to be this way. Sure, Fallout 76 has its perks. Honestly, probably my favorite thing about 76 is the map. I like how in depth and huge the map is. I like how there's tons of areas to explore. And I think if you're into the exploration factor of Fallout and not in for it, and not into Fallout for the mission and the how would I explain it? If you're not into Fallout for the diversity and the creativity of the missions and the players and the NPCs, which are not in the game, then this game could be very good because you could explore this whole map. I genuinely like the map. I think it's a cool concept. It's a cool map. I once lived in White Spring over here, and I would constantly have to fight ghouls and scorch beasts because they would constantly spawn over here. That's actually why I moved, because I wasn't geared up enough to fight anything, and I'm still not. I don't even know what level I am. I'm in the 20s or 30s, I think, just because I don't enjoy playing this game. But if I had to say something positive about this game, it's the map. It's how in depth and how many places you can explore on this map. Like they have a water park over here, which I've gone to. Um, Over here they have power plants and higher level enemies that you can fight. Like I fought the mole rat miners over here a few times, which are fun. I actually enjoy doing that. But other than that, I think this game is a bust. I would consider this game a bust. And unless this is just like a year off or a couple years off for Bethesda until they make Fallout 5, unless they didn't put all their effort into this game because they're working on 5 and they just wanted to get something out to the community, I understand this more. But if they genuinely put so much effort into this game and tried to make this the best game they could, I'm disappointed because this game is mediocre at best. And I really hope it improves whenever 5, if and when 5 comes out, because I'm still gonna believe in Bethesda because of how much I enjoyed Fallout 4. I honestly would have taken Fallout 5 completely out of my plans of buying if I didn't enjoy Fallout 4 like I did. But luckily, I enjoyed Fallout 4 so much to the point where I still believe in the company to make a good game. But man, I just hope they improve. I genuinely hope they improve. I wanted to rant because I saw this game in my games and apps just sitting there, and I barely ever touch this game. But the reason I just don't ever uninstall it is because it's going to take way too long to uninstall because of how huge of a game it is. So what if I do want to come back to this and it's uninstalled? Then I'm going to feel stupid. But honestly, the best thing in this Fallout world so far is this house that I've created and the view. That's all I came here for. But besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys um could take some of these opinions and think about them. Leave in the comments if you guys still believe in Bethesda, if you guys are gonna get Fallout 5 if and whenever it comes out. Tell me if you guys are having fun with this game specifically, and tell me what you think they could improve on and what you think Fallout 76 has done well, because I'm interested. But until next time, I hope you guys have a good day. Peace.